JBN, we keep you informed. Police seize guns and ammo belonging to Mobe gangs. The police say a high-powered rifle was among 4 weapons seized during an operation in St. James this morning. The early morning operation was carried out in the Norwood and Angeline communities. The police said several houses and vehicles were searched, and the illegal weapons and ammunition were found in the Angeline community. The police seized a Glock pistol, 2 Taurus 9mm pistols, and M16 rifle, 45 5.56 rounds, and a 72 9mm rounds of ammunition. According to the Constabulary's Corporate Communications Unit (CCU), the weapons are theorized to be linked to the G-City gang operating in that community. 2 people were detained in connection with the seizures. The police are reporting that about 1 week prior to this morning's operation, they intercepted members of the notorious Sprinter gang and seized 2 Glock 34 pistols along with a quantity of ammunition. Additionally, the security forces over the past 4 weeks have been actively pursuing members of the Preke gang, which resulted in 2 of its members being fatally shot, including its reputed leader, Delano Prekeboy Wilmot. Prisoner escapes police custody at KPH. A manhunt has been launched for a prisoner who escaped police custody at the Kingston Public Hospital yesterday morning. He is 38-year-old Clifton Craig, a laborer of 7 miles in Bull Bay, St. Andrew. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that Craig was discovered missing from the hospital between the hours of 4 and 4:20 a.m. He was in custody on a charge of wounding with intent and was at the facility for medical treatment. The police are asking anyone with information that can assist in the recapture of Clifton Craig to contact the Denham Town Police at 876-948-6443, Crime Stop at 311, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Citizens are being reminded that it is an offense to harbor fugitives. Man dies, 2 injured in Alligator Pond crash. The police are probing the circumstances surrounding the fatal crash that claimed the life of 1 man and injured 2 others on the Prospect Main Road in Manchester yesterday. Dead is 24-year-old Marcus Brooks, a mechanic of Prospect District in the parish. Reports from the Alligator Pond police are that about 12:15 a.m., Brooks was driving a Toyota Tacoma motor truck with 2 men aboard. On reaching a section of the roadway, he allegedly lost control of the vehicle and crashed into bushes. The police said all 3 men sustained multiple injuries and were taken to hospital, where Brooks was pronounced dead. 1 man was treated and released, and the other man admitted for treatment. Family grieves sudden passing of Clarendon cop. A somber mood has engulfed the Yorktown family home of Corporal Dwayne Wright, who was assigned to the Mapen police station in Clarendon. Wright collapsed and died in Mapen on Friday, on his way to the Mapen hospital for treatment. His wife Kamoy said the loss is unbearable. He was the most loving and caring person. I am a diabetic, so because of that he didn't want me to sleep alone at nights, so he asked them to transfer him to detention on courts, where he only worked in the day and didn't on weekends. He was so tender to me. He would be home already, and to know he won't be coming home tonight, I can't even think about what will happen. Recounting their morning routine, the distraught wife said, every morning he would get up early to prepare breakfast because he didn't want me to get up. This morning was the only morning he didn't make breakfast because he wasn't feeling well, she said between tears. Wright's older sister, Nadine Morgan, recounted her brother's protective nature. He's our rock. As much as I am the oldest, he thinks he's the oldest. He checks on us constantly. She said that their bond grew stronger after she became ill 3 years ago. He's like my father. If I need anything, he's the person I call. If anything happens, he's the first person I call. He calls me every morning. And if he doesn't like our sound, he's calling me throughout the day. Wright, a past student of Glenmere High School in the parish, joined the Jamaica Constabulary Force at the age of 18. The family says the 41-year-old was passionate about God and his family. He always says he's a police officer, so the safest persons should be his family. He's tough with persons who try to hurt us. If he said a little finger hurts, he hurts more than us, added Morgan. Morgan said her brother's sudden passing comes as a shock to the family, as he did not have a history of ill health. He just wasn't feeling well from yesterday afternoon. He went to work and he called his wife, and she went back for him and took him to the doctor. But the doctor wasn't there, so she took him over to the hospital. He died in his uniform. He was a jovial, helpful and sincere person. You could depend on him for anything that was within his capabilities. Just 2 Saturdays ago, we were at a funeral, and he was so busy trying to attend 2 other funerals. I got the call from his colleague about his death. I was weakened, shared Vaughn McClocking, Wright's friend of more than 3 years. Wright and his wife would have celebrated 10 years of marriage on August 6. Fisherman's body washes ashore in St. Anne. Police in St. Anne are investigating the death of a fisherman whose body was found washed up at a facility along the coast of the Garden Parish yesterday. He has been identified as 68-year-old David Johnson of Orcabessa, St. Mary. The Constabulary's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, reports that about 1 p.m., a police team was called to a business place in the area where the body of a man had washed up. Police officers who responded found the body face down in the water, along with items believed to be swimming gear. The body was later identified as Johnson. Detectives are encouraging people who may be able to assist in their probe to contact them at 876-974-2533, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Jamaican security guard shot dead in Trinidad. Police investigators in Trinidad are probing the murder of a Jamaican-born security guard who was shot dead by gunmen there on Friday night. The deceased has been identified as Jameek Taylor. Media reports are on that about 8:30 p.m. Taylor was on his way home from work when he was pounced upon by gunmen at St. Mary's Junction in Freeport, Trinidad. The gunmen shot Taylor before fleeing the scene in a white sedan motor car. The police were alerted, and Taylor was found with multiple gunshot wounds. He reportedly died at the scene. Media reports indicated that eyewitnesses saw the Jamaican speaking to a woman shortly before he was attacked and shot dead. Cop among 4 charged with murder in suspected Clarendon gang feud. A police constable who was held recently in a motor car with 3 other men, in which 2 illegal guns, a quantity of ammunition and ballistic vests were found, has now been slapped with a murder charge. 26-year-old police constable Siobhan Downer of Pointy Heights, Old Harbour, St. Catherine, was arrested on July 8 when members of a police team signaled the driver of a Toyota Probox motor car to stop at the intersection of Glenmore Road and Merritt Avenue in Maypen, Clarendon. The driver complied and a search was conducted of the vehicle, where a Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 9 9mm cartridges, another 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 14 9mm cartridges, and 2 ballistic vests were seized. The other men in the car were identified as 43-year-old Bertram Burrell, a truck driver of Burnt Ground, Hanover, 33-year-old Kathleen Pennant, a farmer, also of Burnt Ground, and a 33-year-old Tafari Ross, a tractor operator of Bannister, Old Harbour, St. Catherine. All 4 were initially jointly charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, but following ballistics test, it was discovered that one of the guns found in the car was used in the fatal shooting of 30-year-old Ricardo Williams at his gate in Thompson Town, Clarendon, hours earlier. According to reports, Williams was standing at the front of his house on Windsor Road in Thompson Town when members of his household reported hearing several loud explosions and heavy footsteps along the side of the house leading towards the rear of the house. Checks were made, and Williams was found to the rear of the house in bushes, lying on his back, with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the face. Police sources say an illegal firearm was taken from his body, and it is suspected that he was killed as part of a gang feud. Jamaica Moves and over no done deal. Despite claims by Permanent Secretary Dunstan Bryan that Market Me Consulting will hand over rights to the Jamaica Moves brand in August, a statement issued by the marketing and public relations firm suggested that that declaration is not a done deal. News emerged last week that despite investing tens of millions of dollars into the Jamaica Moves behavior change initiative over the past 3 years, it was actually Market Me that had intellectual property rights over the campaign name and logo. Bryan said that he had written to Market Me in 2019 requesting the transfer. No explanation was offered for why the transfer had not already been made. The permanent secretary has suggested that Market Me's possession of the rights to Jamaica Moves may have been out of step with an agreement signed with the firm. But Market Me indicated on Sunday that its Jamaica Moves contract with the Health Ministry had expired and that it was eager for new talks. We anticipate that our negotiations regarding a renewal of the contract will treat with all matters outstanding, including, but not limited to, ownership of and rights to intellectual property, the statement said. Market Me insisted on Sunday that it had conceptualized Jamaica Moves as an initiative to counter obesity and other lifestyle illnesses in Jamaica. It also said that private sector donors had pumped $75 million into the Jamaica Moves campaign, which it said dwarfed the $54,832,520 injected by the ministry. Private sector donations were made directly to suppliers, not to Market Me, the statement said. But Market Me did not address concerns of a conflict of interest that arose in a report indicating that McDonald did not disclose to the National Health Fund NHF board, which later sponsored the Jamaica Moves program, that she had an interest in Market Me. McDonald tendered a resignation as an NHF director with immediate effect on February 15, 2017, 1 week before the board approved $15 million for Jamaica Moves. Cabinet had approved the appointment of McDonald and 8 others to the NHF board on April 1, 2016. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.